Brad Williams, Excel primed. Remove the last word and period in a sentence. How are we going to do this? By now, you guys should be familiar with the structure. We're gonna use probably, well, the mid function because, well, it's the workhorse of this text manipulation. We're also going to use len. We're also going to use substitute. Over here, here's the formula. We're going to use mid, B5, find, substitute, len. I'm going to go through all this piece by piece. Here's our sentence or our string. Here's a len. It's 41 characters. We want to get rid of that last word, needed. Here's the final output. Another example, we're going to remove the last 3 words. Once we do the first example, it's easy to modify the next example and to remove the last 3 words. Here, again, B5 is going to be our text. We're going to have a starting number. This is mid doing its thing, and the number of characters. We've worked through this a couple times. I know the future, there's probably 4 other tutorials. We're going to use the same method. So get used to this. Get a solid foundation on how this works. All we're doing is we're using substitute. We're finding, in this case, a space. We're going to find a space. We're going to replace that space with a tilde. A tilde is that character on your keyboard, top left, just below the escape. Why do we use it? Well, because it's a character that's rarely used. You don't want to use a commonly used character because we're using substitute. Essentially going to remove all that, and you don't want to remove important data. We have substitute, text, old text, and then we're going to go new text. We have this instant number. This is critical. This is what determines what space to put that tilde. Down here in substitute, we have 4 arguments. I just showed you the text, the old text, and new text. Here's an instant. It's the instant to replace if not supplied. It really is the location. So what we have to do here is go back in and take a look. I need this last space. So we're going to take len B5, 41, minus len, substitute B5. We have a space there. We're going to replace that with no space, minus 1. We have this text, old text, new text, instant number, F9. It's going to be 8. 8. That's where you're going to put that tilde. Let's take a look here. I have this broken down piece by piece so you can visualize it. Here is this len B5 deal. All we're taking is 41 minus len. Then we're going to substitute, and we're just using substitute again. B5, we're going to look at this entire string. Now recognize what we're doing here. Replacing all the spaces. All these spaces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's going to be 8 spaces here. What does that 8 space represent? It represents the last word. That would be the last space before needed. See it? If not, go through here and count each space. Well, that's where we're putting this tilde. You see right here? See this tilde? If we look, we have 1, 2, I'm counting spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and then but and I'm 7, and then 8. Pretty creative, yeah? As we look at this other example, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to find those spaces and go 8 minus wherever, 3, 3, and it will take out the last X number of words you want removed. But that's how we insert that tilde. We can do it anywhere we want. You just need to remember what we're trying to achieve here. We're replacing the spaces with a blank and then subtracting 41 from the difference, which is going to be 33. Then we get this total 8. Over here, we just insert it. Then we go over here, and if you see how this works, we're going in substitute B5 space for this, and then this len. Got it? Then over here, we're just going to go find find, and then it's our total. What are we going to do? Find? We're going to use that 35. We're going to use that 35 because how many words are we going to keep? Well, we're going to keep that find, and we're going to subtract 1. Why? We want to get rid of that space. Got it? In other words, we want to get rid of this tilde. Here we have B5, and then we have the start number, 1, and then here, F9, 34. You see this 35? Well, that's going to include the tilde, and then get rid of the tilde, and that's what we got. Take it one step at a time. Here, the only thing we changed, we added 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 minus 1. So at 3 minus 1, we have 2 minus 1 gives us this. I'll give you an idea. Let's see, we have this find, text, start number, number of characters, F9. Then we have this substitute, which is text, old number, new number, instant number. See that? So we're going to go, what was this? Well, this might be longer. This is a longer text. So we're going to have F9. So we're going to have 6 here. 6. What we're doing is counting this string. Remember it was 8 to the first space? Well, now we're going to find the 6th space. Here, notice, needed, I'm, but, and we're going to follow the exact same process. And if you want to visualize this thing, you can go, well, we know this is 35. And then F9, we have 8, and then 3 minus 3, 2 minus 1 is 1. Then we're going to F9. So 8 minus 2 is 6. And this minus 1, that's in the mid. Keep that in mind. Text, start number, number of characters. You see it? Work it out. Keep working through this. Read it over here. Read it if you need it. And if this delimiter slash tilde slash this substitute function is driving you crazy, just pick it apart piece by piece. The anatomy, well, it's just repeat. We've done it over and over and over. The len minus len thing sometimes really screws you up. Just tear it apart and break it down. Fred Williams, XL Prime, Williams out.